In our first hour, we had a chance to talk with APS Superintendent Winston Brooks about the school year ahead, which begins tomorrow, and he's graciously agreed to stay back for a couple of more questions. Thanks so much for being with us.
Absolutely.
Again,
Thank
Winston.
you, Mike.
We do appreciate that. And as you said in our first hour, you are ready to go for the school year. Have you set established goals? I know you've done that in the past. Or are there a couple of highlights that the district is looking for this year?
Well, we actually established 8 goals last year. I think it'd be wrong of me to say, well, you know, we need to come up with a whole new set of goals. I think sustainability and consistency is something that's really helpful, and we're going to stick on those 8 goals. You know, the #1 goal was improving student achievement, improving the graduation rate, and I think we had some positive signs of that moving in the right direction this past year, and we just need to continue working on strategies that's going to make that even better next year.
Money is an issue at every school in the state, no matter what district. That'll be the case, maybe even more so this year. The legislature is going to have a special session dealing with the budget shortfall. How concerned, I know you're very concerned about that, and what can be done to cut the pain?
Well, you know, I think the fact of the matter is, well, there's 2 thoughts. One is, you know, 85% of our budget is in salary and benefits. Most of that goes to teachers. We do have a tentative agreement that the board will actually hopefully ratify tonight at our board meeting. Once that happens, we're kind of locked in as far as how much you're paying teachers and what their benefits are going to be. So really the only other alternative is to start considering perhaps a reduction in force, which I really would like to try to avoid at all costs, but it may be something we have to really consider.
When you say that force, you're talking about staff members?
Yeah, we'd be, you know, last year we actually cut our budget by about $20 million, and it's even hard for me to say.
Yeah.
About $20 million, and we did that all away from the classroom. But, you know, there's only a point in time with the bulk of our salary and benefits being in the classroom that you can avoid that. So we're probably going to be looking, depending on how drastic the cuts would be, at perhaps, you know, perhaps laying some teachers off, and if that happens, then our class sizes go up, which we all know is not a very good thing.
One of the issues, a big controversy you had to deal with in your first year last year was the cheese sandwich issue, which kids who couldn't afford to pay for school lunch ended up with those cheese sandwiches. That is back this year, and I know you're also trying to get all of the students involved in federal or state programs.
Absolutely, and in fact there's been news reports about that recently, about the increases that we can all anticipate in those families that can qualify for the free and reduced lunch program. We do have an alternative lunch program that involves a cheese sandwich, a piece of fruit, and a glass of milk. Some would argue that's more healthy than what we're serving otherwise, but you know, that is going to be there, and certainly we would encourage any family who's struggling right now to consider filling out that application.
Okay, Winston Brooks, have a great year at APS. We appreciate you being with us.
Mike, thank you so much.
And be sure to join us for a special edition of News 13 this morning tomorrow as the kids head back to school. We'll have special reports and the return of Mike's school bus forecast.